was trying to do a bunch of... Hello people of YouTube, Pixie here, and today on my channel it is the first official free-for-all Friday! Woo! Okay, today we are going to be talking about how to prepare for a job interview, and just to kind of kick things off, I have been applying and interviewing for so many jobs these past like 2 or 3 months that I felt it was time to finally make a video like this. A few months ago, actually almost like a year ago, I made a video asking, or a vlog, and I asked if I should make a video like this, and a lot of you said that I should, so we're finally doing it, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first piece of advice I have when you're preparing for a job interview is to research the company, and I know that sounds like, duh, of course I'm going to research the company, Pixie, but no, really, like, research the company, make sure you know like what kind of company you're gonna possibly be getting yourself involved with, and like look at their like motto, what they really care about, and try to find something that you really like about that company or their motto or like what they care about. I know sometimes it can seem like when you're applying for a bunch of jobs you start to lose, like, I don't know, you just start applying to like all these different jobs and you're not sure if you're really like passionate about each portion or each company that you apply for. But really, I feel like if you actually sit down and like research the company, you'll find that companies do a lot of cool things, and there's always like 1 or 2 things that you can like relate to and really be something that really sticks out to you and that you can kind of stand behind. So just to kind of keep you really invested in the company in a way. So when you go to the job interview, you already know more like history about the company and what kind of company they are, and that will like show across through the interview that you've either like done your homework and research on the company. They might ask you a question about like services that they offer or something along those lines. It's just good to know what kind of services they offer, what their motto is, all their kind of stuff that is available to everyone on the internet. It's always a good idea to do your homework before you go in for the interview. So the second piece of advice I have for you to help prepare for a job interview is to look over your resume. Another thing that may sound like super basic, but just remember that they will have looked at your resume, right? And so you want to be super familiar with what you put on your resume, and maybe you haven't updated it in a while and you just sent it into this job, and so they bring up something on your resume that you kind of can't really like remember specifics about. Go over your resume, because chances are they're gonna be bringing up your resume and like asking you questions that pertain to your resume and your experience prior experience that you may have that makes you like a good applicant for the job. So go over your resume, kind of think through the history that you have, the experience that you have, and make sure you're kind of prepared to answer questions about your resume. And also along with that, I always like to bring a copy of my resume with me to the interview, just in case they happen to like not have the copy of it on them. It's just like a nice kind of thing to be able to hand them the resume and show that you came prepared for the interview. I feel like people generally like that when I bring a resume. It just like is something kind of professional, or more professional. The next piece of advice that I have for you is to practice interviewing with other people, like a family member or a friend. Just kind of like practice being interviewed, and it sounds kind of silly, but it actually goes a long way. If you haven't interviewed in a while, you might not know what kind of questions they're going to ask you and how you might respond to those questions. So why not practice? Like a quick little practice won't hurt you. People always make like lists of questions that they might ask in an interview. There's like a billion websites that has like potential questions that employers might ask you. And actually like this video or comment below if you think I should do like, I've been considering doing like a mock interview slash like common questions they ask you in an interview, because I feel like I know a lot because I've been interviewing so much recently. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you would want to see, like kind of like a practice interview between you and I over the internet. And so yeah, practice with someone you know, practice in the mirror if you don't have anyone to practice with. Just kind of like make you more comfortable before you go in, because when they like, you don't want to feel like completely surprised when they ask you a question. You want to feel like maybe you had time to like think about it. And in an interview I find that it's often like difficult to think of how you want to answer the question, but if you've practiced beforehand, it makes it way easier. Not necessarily to make you don't want to sound like robotic, like you have a script memorized, but just kind of like more comfortable with answering questions, because I don't know about you all, but sometimes, and I feel like it's totally normal, it is totally normal, but I feel like a lot of people like me, and maybe you, get nervous and don't know how you're gonna answer, and you feel like, I can't think of anything, so practicing always really helps me prepare for a job interview. Okay, so the next piece of advice I have for you is to obviously dress to impress, but don't do it in a way that outshines you, your personality, like your uniqueness. Obviously, you want to look good and you want to be presentable, but you also don't want to look like every single other person that has interviewed before you. And what I mean is you are totally unique. Your style is unique, your personality is unique, and your clothes actually reflect your personality even during an interview. So obviously look professional, but don't do it in a way that, yeah, outshines you. You are awesome and they want to see that, and they want to see you. So keep your vibes, keep your style, just do it in a professional way. The next piece of advice I have for you, and again, it kind of may seem a little bit obvious, but make sure you know like all of the details about your interview. For example, where are you meeting the person, what time are you meeting the person, and who are you meeting with, because generally when you get there you kind of have to go to like a front desk maybe and ask for the specific person's name, so make sure you know that. Make sure you get there a little bit early. And also it's important to know like where you are meeting this person, because you can plan ahead, so you can, you know, figure out how you're getting there, figure out the best time to get there, and like what are the best methods to get there on time. For example, like if you need to take a bus, you might want to get on like the bus that's like way earlier than your interview in case you miss the bus is late. You know, plan ahead for these types of things. Figure out what kind of if you're driving, like figure out what type of parking situation is there, if there's like a parking garage nearby, if there is street parking. You know, you have to like put all of that into consideration before you go to your job interview, because you don't want to be rushing at all. That's like it's already like stressful enough. You don't want to be adding any more stress that doesn't need to be added to that. So make sure you're prepared, make sure you know all of that stuff before you get there, and you will feel awesome when you are walking in on time. You know who you're meeting with, and you just are comfortable with that. It's really a good thing, I promise. Okay, so the last piece of advice that I have for you, as cheesy as it is, be yourself. The person that is interviewing you doesn't want you to have a bad interview. They want to hire you, right? They want to work with you. They just want to see what your personality is like. They've already looked at your resume and they're just kind of checking in and seeing if everything matches up and what kind of personality you can bring to the company. So although it is obviously nerve-wracking sometimes during a job interview, they really do want to have a good interview. They want to find like the best applicant. So I find that thinking about that they want to hire you, they want you to have a good interview, makes me like more calm going into an interview. And also really just, yeah, try to stick to your real personality, your true self. And I know it's like still obviously sometimes uncomfortable during an interview, but as long as you do your best to showcase your personality, I promise it will come through and they will see whether or not you are a good match for their company. Yeah. Okay, so that is everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that helped you in some way or made you less nervous. And let me know also if you would want to see a video of like what to wear to a job interview. I feel like I'm going to make a video like that soon, but let me know by liking this video if you would want to see that, or comment below if you would like to see that. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of this video, and if you aren't subscribed to this channel, please join our family, click that subscribe button. I make videos every other day now, and I would love it if you joined us. And so, yeah, I will see y'all in my next video, which will be on Sunday. I love you all so much, and see you next time.